The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Dr. Sani Aliyu, disclosed this yesterday during the daily media briefing in Abuja. In the meantime, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has called for synergy among security agencies to tackle the myriads of security challenges in the country. He made this call yesterday during the virtual presentation of the research report of the National Defense College Course 28 titled Border Management and National Development in Nigeria, the ECOWAS protocol relating to free movement of persons, residents and establishments in perspective. The Vice President noted that effective collaboration among key agencies will help rid the nation's borders of insecurity and human trafficking. Giving his remarks after the presentation of the research report and the interactive session, the Vice President said border management affects the economy very considerably, hence the need to get all agencies involved in the sector together. While commending the participants for a thoroughly researched paper, the Vice President said the research paper touched on important national issues and that efforts would be made to adopt and implement key recommendations. The leadership of the National Assembly has convinced the distribution companies, DISCOs, in the country to defer the hike in electricity tariffs scheduled to take effect from July 1, 2020. This is according to a statement yesterday by the Special Advisor to the Senate President on Media, Ola Awoniyi. He revealed that the lawmakers met with the chief executives of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NAC, and the DISCOs and succeeded in persuading them to postpone the planned increase of tariffs until the first quarter of 2021. The Senate President, Ahmad Lawan, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, as well as other principal officers and chairmen of the committees on power of the two chambers, attended the meeting. Awoniyi said the National Assembly leaders were emphatic that the timing of the planned hike was wrong, although they do not have issues with the need to introduce cost-reflective tariffs for the power sector to attract the much-needed investment. He added that the DISCOs, on their part, admitted that they were not well prepared for the planned hike in tariffs despite the so much desire for the increase. The meeting, according to the Senate President's aide, agreed to defer the planned hike until the first quarter of next year, while the leadership of the National Assembly promised to meet with President Muhammadu Buhari on the issue. The Nigeria Immigration Service, NIS, has warned applicants against patronizing fake recruitment sites, saying no fee is being charged for the NIS recruitment. The Controller General, NIS, Mr. Muhammad Babandede, gave the warning in a statement by the Service Public Relations Officer, SPEO, Mr. Sunday James, today in Abuja. Babandede gave the warning while reacting to the reports of fake NIS websites on social media. He also advised the public to disregard the scam posted recently to avoid falling victims to the criminal elements. According to him, the NIS would always announce its official recruitment and notifications through credible Nigerian dailies and media platforms for the attention of the public. A former commissioner for information in Edo State and chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Prince Kazeem Afegbua, has vowed never to support the party's candidate in the forthcoming governorship election in the state, Godwin Obaseki. Afegbua, who expressed displeasure in the manner Obaseki became the party's candidate, said he would not support him for the second term in office. The former commissioner said this yesterday when he appeared on a television program in Abuja. According to him, his position on Obaseki was not born out of greed, resentment, or hatred, but because of the undemocratic processes followed in his emergence. Afegbua also distanced himself from the primary election that produced Obaseki as the PDP's candidate. The Abia state government says it has given a 7-day ultimatum to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to unseal 6 government properties that were wrongly sealed in the state. The State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Uche Ihediwa, who disclosed this in a statement made available to journalists today, described the act as a brazen disregard of the regulatory enforcement and investigative provisions of the law. Ihediwa said the commission marked and sealed assets and property of the state government in various locations in the state capital, Umuahia, under the guise that these assets and properties were under investigation. According to him, the properties which were sealed by the EFCC include the Abia Mall, the housing estate at Adelabo Street, Umuahia, and the former township main market at Ogbumbari, and the Millennium Luxury Apartments, Umuahia, Abia Hotels and Linto Estate, Old Timber Shed. He further explained that the Commission had in 2016 investigated the ownership of most of these properties, and at that time, the certificates of occupancy and public-private partnership agreements between the state government and investors in respect of the properties were duly submitted to the Commission, which found them satisfactory. There was pandemonium at the Muslim hospital at the Osun State over the weekend when a suspected COVID-19 patient, Mutiu Olawi, who is said to be working with the Osun State Ministry of Health, died in the hospital. His younger brother, Ayo Olawi, reportedly disagreed with the hospital management on the need to conduct autopsy on the corpse to ascertain his COVID-19 status. A source at the hospital revealed that the deceased died shortly after he was admitted into the hospital, in which the director of the hospital, Mr. Moshood Akombi, insisted on conducting autopsy on the corpse. Dr. Moshood, in his speech, said he contacted B Division of the Nigeria Police Force located in Ede, adding that Ayo continued with his violent reaction despite the presence of the law enforcement agents. The medical personnel said Ayo forcefully took the body out in the presence of the B Division, DPO, and the chairman of Ede South Local Government Area. When contacted, the police public relations officer in the state, Yemisi Okpalola, confirmed the incident, as she added that Ayo has not been arrested. A 75-year-old man, Alhaji Salisu Ibrahim, yesterday lost his life in a road traffic accident involving the convoy of the Commander 70 Brigade, Nigerian Army, Katsina, Brigadier General Wara Idris. The accident occurred when the convoy went to refuel and was returning to pick up the brigade commander. Eyewitnesses said the accident occurred around the Mani House Junction in Katsina Metropolis. It was also learned that the man died on the spot. The acting director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Sagi Musa, confirmed the development in a statement. He said a delegation of the Nigerian Army, led by the brigade commander, have visited the late Ibrahim family to commiserate with them. And that ends the midday news, read by Olamide Teju. The news was packaged by Afolabi Kuka. Good afternoon.